The Crit Show contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Crit Show.
Hello.
We are playing... Hello. I haven't gotten a hijack in a while, huh?
Yeah.
You just banking a whole shitload of them?
Got so many.
Hijinks sounds like hijinks.
That's what I'm using them for.
There's been plenty of hijinks. Last time...
Got him.
Last time, our squadron returned to Sun's Edge and the Dawn Palace. Maxine broke the news, all of the news.
All of the news.
Lots of news to Chief Orban and Hector about the condition of the Broken Movement Core, the idea that more of them exist out there, that you plan to hunt for them, etc., etc. Which, fortunately, Chief Orban seemed on board for and in support of and willing to lend her aid. Same with Hector. Kade dug into a recraft of another train car to accomplish some ancillary effects that might benefit you, quality of life improvements for down the line.
Oh!
And Tass wasn't really in that one. Einon recruited his third warden to guard over the ether magicians that you are soon to imprison extrajudicially. So.
Oh, hold on. Do you guys like caramel apples?
Okay, hold on. Is this related? The link, hold on. To guard the ether witches. Oh, there we go. Tie-in.
Like Halloween,
Yes.
like sweets, like caramel apples. Do you guys like caramel apples?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to an apple orchard yesterday, and they had a bunch of good like fall time stuff. We climbed a big pile of hay bales.
Ooh.
And somebody was like, "Oh, do you guys want a picture together?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." And then I had to climb.
What, with this guy?
Yeah, I had to climb because I made Jake get all the way up at the top.
Yeah.
But then I had to climb all the way up at the top. And I had a moment of like, what if she just walked away and stole my phone? But instead, she took pictures of me like climbing it. It's pretty bad. But they had a caramel apple festival.
Oh.
So they had they called it a build your own caramel apple station.
I got an ad for that. Is that like that last weekend and this weekend?
Yeah. They called it a build your own caramel apple station. They do not let you touch the caramel, the apple, or the toppings, but you get to dictate what goes on it.
Sure. Just like Subway, you get to build your own sandwich. But they don't let you get
That's
behind
fair.
the glass.
I thought it was kind of whack though, because it's like you can just go into the shop and get a caramel apple dipped in some shit for $4.99.
Yeah.
Or you can go build your own, where you don't actually get to do anything, but it costs you $2 more.
Yeah.
But they have way more toppings options.
That caramel's so hot. You'd have to sign waivers to get people back there.
Blistering.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it was ridiculous. Jake's
I can't wait to find out where this is
Jake
going.
goes first, and the lady's like, he picks up a car. They have a bunch of apples with the sticks in them in little like paper cups, right? Like paper bowls. And they're all sitting out, so you pick up which one you want and then hand it to them, and then they dip it in the stuff. And so he picks one up, and she goes, "Is that the one you want?"
No, she said,
"Or is that your special apple?"
"Is this
or
your
something?"
special apple?" I went, "Are they different?" And she went, "No." I
And
said,
he was
"Well,
like, "Well, then it doesn't matter." And I was like, I know he's saying that it doesn't matter because they're all the same, but she's going from like a whimsy standpoint
Yeah.
as opposed to a practical standpoint. But it's kind of coming off like he's like, I don't fucking care. Just dip the apple.
We've been getting, this is a whole other tangent that I'll take us on later, but we've been getting the weirdest questions from strangers recently. And I don't like it. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
So anyway, we pick our apples. But the options for toppings I thought were really interesting. So they have peanuts and sprinkles, which I feel like are the usual, like if you're going to get a caramel apple in a store, it's usually covered in peanuts or sprinkles, right?
Sure.
They also had Heath, M&Ms, Butterfinger, marshmallows, pretzels, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, Reese's Puffs, and Oreos.
Wow.
I am not surprised by those only because there's a fancy caramel apple store on Mass Ave that I've been into before.
What?
Yeah. You heard?
What?
Yeah.
Where?
I would have to look, but yeah, they sell all kinds of gourmet caramel apples.
All right. Well, I'm going there.
And
after
candy
this.
apples and chocolate covered apples.
But like, okay, so the marshmallows were like mini marshmallows, but I found it very interesting that I was looking at all the toppings and I was like, some of these are unreasonable.
Yeah.
like mini, because they did half and half, right? You could choose 2 toppings. So then they dipped half of it in one thing and half of it in the other. And I'm like, I don't think I could eat it with a bunch of like marshmallows like sticking off of it like a landmine. Or I guess a sea mine would be
Yeah.
more accurate.
I want like melted marshmallow over the apple
that would be
instead of
great.
caramel, or maybe on top of the caramel.
Marshmallow fluff would be
Yes.
very good. But this was just like whole ass mini marshmallows on half of it.
Yeah, that's insane.
The fancy place on Mass Ave, when you buy one, they give you the option of like, would you like us to cut it for you? And they break out the little thing where they
Ooh.
go, shink.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I forgot what a challenge it is to eat a caramel apple off
yeah.
a stick. I kept like unhinging my jaw and then trying to bite it and realizing that I'd opened my mouth too far for my jaw to work anymore, so I had to like go smaller.
And then most of the caramel's in your nose and beard.
I had a very
no,
caramely
I'm like a
mustache.
snake. I can just unhinge my jaw and just take a huge bite out of it.
I thought you meant you could clean
Just
Jake's
eat the whole.
beard.
Oh, this reminds me. I was going to ask you guys, when you eat apples,
Yeah.
specifically like softer apples, does it make the roof of your mouth feel weird? Like, does it leave like an odd sensation?
Not that I know of.
I try not to eat soft apples. Like, that's the whole thing of the apple that I like. I like a crunchy apple. I don't like soft apples.
Well, when you fail,
It makes my mouth feel funny because I'm spitting it out.
well, like I definitely feel like a sensation on the roof of my mouth. And I asked Jake, I was like, do eating apples like make the roof of your mouth feel weird? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, so maybe it's just a thing of apples. And I was talking
It's a
about
defense mechanism.
yeah, like there's a post of somebody that was like, I can't remember what it was, like oranges or something. Like, oh, I don't eat oranges. And my dad was like, why? And it was like, oh, because I'm allergic. They make my mouth itch. And he's like, no, that's just what oranges do. And that's how my dad learned he was allergic to oranges. And so I asked Jake because I was like, I don't want to assume that this is normal and like
Yeah.
actually I'm allergic to apples or something. And he's like, no, it's normal. But then I started looking it up and it's like, no, yeah, it's like a oral allergy syndrome or something like that. Or it could be the tannins. I'm not sure because it doesn't itch.
Who are they?
Biff tannin?
Yeah. It doesn't itch. It just feels kind of
Swollen?
not like sandpaper, but it like has like a rough texture.
Huh.
Does your mouth feel weird? I don't know how often you drink wine,
Yeah.
Rev. You might have had church wine tests. Nope, never?
Nope.
Does your mouth feel weird when you drink wine? Is there
Uh,
like a weird sensation in there? Because I think that's tannins too, right?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe it's the tannins.
I don't know.
Well, good news. I got this bottle.
All
I'm gonna
right.
crack it open.
But I was like, are Jake and I both allergic to apples? And then we're just like reinforcing that it's normal.
The bigger part of this conversation is that I can't understand what you're describing as the weird sensation.
Yeah, if I hadn't experienced it yesterday, it would be hard to just muster. All I can do is lick the roof of my mouth and hope you understand.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Will it help me understand if you lick the roof of
Yeah,
my
let me
mouth?
lick the. I'm not a dog.
Hold on, let me get this for the Patreon.
Ugh. Okay, what were we doing with
Yeah,
Pathfinders?
who was doing
Well,
a
Tass
thing?
had a different tangent he wanted to take us on.
Oh, this is gonna be the longest middle of the episode intro we've ever had.
I don't know. Last week's was
Yeah.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's true.
in 59 seconds.
What? Oh, I remember.
Right on time.
Call back. Speaking of weird questions, we had one of our beloved patrons come into town for the Chosen weekend recently. Shout out to Carrie. And we were out at the hotel playing games and stuff all day. This was downtown Indianapolis. I brought my cane with me that day because I knew I'd be walking around from parking lots and stuff. I don't have to use it a lot, but if I know I'm going to be walking a decent amount in the day, I have it with me because my knee's bad. And so Jake and I went to go pick up some food, and it was a couple of blocks away, so I brought the cane along, and we're going through the lobby of the hotel where the check-in folks are hanging out, and there are these two younger gals there kind of chatting, and I was so startled because one of them just suddenly kind of shouts out, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was so confused, like I'm looking at Jake to be like, did he trip? Like I'm looking, like, do I have something on me? Like what's going on? And it took me a second to like realize that she's just pointing at me and my cane and asking if I'm okay. I was so confused.
We walked out and he was like, what? Like, how would I get injured and just produce a cane? Like, they think I didn't come in with it?
Saturday morning, when I was walking to Carrington's hotel where we were all meeting, a guy on a bicycle stopped directly in front of me and said, "What day is it?" And I said, "The 29th. And he goes, "No, what day is it?" And I said, "Oh, Saturday?" And he just nodded and rode away as fast as he could. So that was my weird question.
That was a time traveler.
And that was the first time we've seen TJ in a year or so, at least.
And I think this is the extent of the questions, but that same weekend, Jake and I saw Kevin Nealon downtown, and then Carrington and Kieran saw somebody with an alligator.
Yeah, carrying an alligator on a leash.
I was there for Kevin Nealon, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how dare you exclude him?
He was walking so fast with his cane. He was way ahead of us.
I really book with that thing.
So Mr. Nealon, if you're listening to this, love your work. And if you work the front desk at a hotel downtown, shame on you.
Get it together.
Too better.
And if you're a time traveler who was wondering what day of the week it was, I hope you stopped whatever needed to stop.
And if you own that pet alligator, please let me hold it.
All right.
Yeah.
Back to it.
All out of our system.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
It's true.
Let's resume
Yeah.
with Einon. So Einon, you and Everett are walking back.
I prefer not to be in this episode either.
Okay.
Just move along.
Okay. Einon and Everett walk back. Anyway, no, like Everett is asking you some questions, asking you to fill him in on what's happened since the last time he saw you, what this assignment is. Is there anything, like, are you holding anything back from him, or are you just spilling all the details?
No, I think I'm spilling it all, just impressing upon him that we are really working together here to kind of build something specifically for these ether magicians. Just asking him for ideas, offering some of my own, and seeing if he is interested in kind of overseeing this.
Okay. Yeah, he is on board. He lets you know that he is at your disposal. He is happy to lead. I think that as you guys get back, you rendezvous with Hector, who has been working with Chief Forbin and like coming up with a game plan, but he needs your input on it. Obviously, he wants to collaborate with you guys. Are you involving Gideon and Keen in the planning process as well, or are they just door folk?
I definitely think involving them. Like, I don't know how much of this you want to play out, but the ideas I have in my head are like, I feel like some of these would maybe come from them of like, it would seem to me that Keen as a good tracker, hunter, etc., would be the one to bring up, like, make sure that these are interior rooms. We don't want to give them a chance at using magic to get through walls, at least not as simply. I imagine Gideon being critical in like the types of locks and things that are at least more difficult to manipulate, just different styles of things like that he would have trouble with. And I would be bringing up the points having to do with like, yeah, she has these 2 apprentices. We have all 3 of them. We genuinely don't know if there are more that are attached to her specifically. There could be, doesn't seem like it, but we don't know. So we also need the understanding of guards and things and keeping an eye on this stuff from the outside in case anyone's going to try to spring them. Just all of those little details of like the things that we've collected that we've already talked about, that we know are abilities that they have and how to combat that.
Okay. So I think we're going to run yours as a challenge as well.
Ooh.
A series of overcome actions. The way I'm seeing this is I want to start with a rapport, since you are asking others for ideas, trying to like brainstorm and pool thoughts, convey yours. I think that will require some amount of discussion up front, successfully conveying ideas. I think you're going to need a resources roll to gather materials to actually complete this project, and then lastly a crafts roll to actually make this happen, to retrofit this area of the palace.
Oh boy.
Yeah, are those all ones you're good at?
One of them.
Okay.
The other two I didn't know were things.
Amazing. A lot of that going around.
Yep.
All right, so is there anything you want to start with? Last time when Kade had to start his challenge, he wanted to create an advantage. Is that something you would be interested in doing before you begin your challenge? And if so, what the hell is it?
I feel like any assistance I might get from this in the way of an advantage is because of the few other clockwinders that are around, like, the ones that are learning, maybe the few of the very fresh-faced folk that we had pulled from, doing the parade and stuff, that are popping around and asking questions and learning, just as, kind of a small network of people going like, oh, I know a guy that has some spare material that I can definitely get for us, or whatever, just that little clockwinder network.
Okay. I feel like that's going to be a contacts roll.
Okay.
So why don't you create an advantage with contacts? And since you are pulling from readily available personnel and like normal circumstances, I don't think this is going to be super tough. I think you're just trying to beat a 1.
Okay. Thank God I have a high contacts. That's a 2.
Okay. That would get you 1 free invoke on this aspect. Do you want to spend anything to make it 2 free invokes?
No, I need to hang on to these.
Okay. So what do we want to call this?
God, I know it's the wrong image, but like there's a kind of an emotional equivalent of a bucket brigade here of like, we need all of these people to work right now to get this built as fast as possible.
Okay. I like it. Bucket brigade with 1 free invoke.
Okay.
So let us start with your rapport roll to get everybody aligned on this project. Overcome with rapport. I'm a little bit open to how difficult you think this is. I mean, you created all 3 of these people. How well do you think they'll work together? Like, how hard do you think it's going to be to get all of them on the same page?
I think these 3 to some degree are already aware of each other. They may not have all 3 work together at the same time, but I think there is that precedent of, especially Everett probably knows the other 2, but Keen and Gideon may not have like worked directly with each other. Yeah, and they've all sort of agreed already just for their own purposes. So just sticking with it doesn't seem super hard since they are seeing the amount of people that are already pitching in and ready to make this work.
I'm leaning towards a fair difficulty, a 2.
Okay, let's go. That's a 4.
All right. That will be a success. You managed to get everybody visionarily aligned and ready to work. Next up is going to be the resources. I think there is some extra challenge to this one, as Chief Forbin had said, like trying to keep this on the down low. I think getting what you need is a little bit tougher. And even though narratively that's more on their plate, I think mechanically it's got to be more on yours.
Yeah.
So let's say this is a good difficulty, trying to beat a 3. So okay. Overcome with resources, beating a 3.
-1. I'm trying to decide. Okay, if I'm going to spend 1 anyway. So I could invoke the Bucket Brigade. And team player is my aspect. Like, I'm really trying to show them, like, we can do this. Everybody focus. Like, it might be frustrating, but I would spend a point for that.
Okay, I accept.
So that would get me to a 3.
All right, so on a tie, you get what you want at a minor cost, or you get a lesser version. I think just one of the things you want isn't quite going to come to fruition. I will let you pick which one. Either these cannot be interior rooms. They have to be exterior. Or the physical locks are going to be a little bit lackluster, not up to the snuff that you want them to be. The face that Tass is making right now is priceless.
I am terrified to choose this.
Can't you just punish me?
Just give me harm, bro. Come on.
Making you choose is the punishment. It's great. It hurts you. I don't have to do as much. It's a win-win.
He's like, or a third option. Sevna is no longer interested.
No,
I would never.
yeah, come on.
That would only if you failed.
That's not possible within the confines of the narrative.
The fiction.
Yeah. It's going to be exterior rooms.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that. Obviously they'll know, like, there's going to be the potential for, barred windows or whatever. And so, like, when the point comes up, I even want to tell Sevna, like, this is the one thing I could do for you, is so you could hear the din of the city and the birds chirping. And
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a cool thing. That's a cool move. Great.
just trying to make it sound like I did
Just
good.
try
I
and
did a nice thing.
The Spin Master.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly is going to be the actual crafts roll.
Oh, darn it.
I don't think this one's going to be super difficult either. This is not an especially complex creation as much as it is just time consuming. So why don't you roll to overcome with crafts, trying to beat a 2. Fair difficulty.
Yeah, all right. 0. What can I use to match this?
I mean, you can use Bucket Brigade again.
Oh, that's true.
You just have to spend for it.
I just have to spend the point. That makes the most sense. I'm calling in favors. I mean, to a very small degree, I think that's technically even calling in Kade to just be like, hey, take a look at some of this. What do we think? What do we need to improve? And
hold this. Stay there.
Yeah. So that will tie me again.
All right. So again, a tie, a minor cost or a lesser version. I think that in the construction of these chambers, you have to this is dumb. You have to build out the rooms and occupy so much of the hallway that only 2 of your 3 guards can kind of be stationed in there at a time. So the 3 of them are just going to have to pull a rotation 2 at a time, guarding 3 rooms.
I really like that, actually. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
And that's okay, because you weren't expecting them to be on duty 24/7.
Yeah, huh?
There are cots that fold down from the walls. They just go into each cell and they're bunkmates.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's good.
Just like, Scout, I get top bunk. Don't slit my throat.
An honor system jail. That's what we've built.
All right. So similarly to Kade, I think yours it's just going to take time. This is going to be an investment of many days to get all of this accomplished.
Yeah, I'm happy to put in the physical work, helping them literally build the things, as well as just talking with the recruits, figuring out rotations, everything down to the building layout and these are escape routes and things that you need to be aware of, and just, laying it all out to not leave them with more stuff that they have to figure out on their own. I don't want to go out of here and just being like, good luck, Everett, figure it out. I want to help him help them.
I feel like that's sort of approaching creating another advantage.
Oh.
That you're kind of leaving on the environment and the situation. I'm trying to think of how you would roll this, what this role would be. Because I feel like this is you're kind of investigating, you're kind of noticing, you're making a game plan to leave behind with them. The place is a little more known and secure for these efforts you're describing.
Yeah. I mean, is it, this might be my literal brain working, but I mean, is it literally just that idea of canvassing the situation as if I were an inmate, as if I were one being held, and just trying to notice what I could manipulate myself?
Oh, do a catch that kid.
I believe that what you say is a thing, and so yes, that.
I'm sorry, you don't have me on this one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Catch that kid?
No.
All right. Well, stop the podcast. We've got movie night.
Oh, okay.
Catch me if you can?
No, Catch That Kid. It's about these 3
Billy
kids.
the kid.
And one of them, the mom works at a bank, and so the dad needs surgery, and so they...
Don't spoil the whole thing.
No, I'm
we're
not,
going to break off and watch
I'm
it. You guys just enjoy these ads in the meantime.
Okay, so now everybody
that
knows...
That was a great flick.
Right? It was really good.
Daddy daycare.
No. Anyway, the idea is at some point it's brought up with this idea like, oh, okay, if they break into the bank, it's to test the security systems of being like, oh, if these kids can break into the bank, then anybody could. It's
And they can't be prosecuted
yeah,
as adults.
because they're minors.
Yeah.
There are go-karts as well.
How many times do they have to get caught before they get tried as an adult?
Parent Trap is what you're thinking.
Do we have enough ads to fill another break where we watch The Parent Trap? I
Wait,
guess
which
not.
version?
We should
We
probably
gotta
just
take a long break. We're gonna watch both versions.
we should probably just continue with the game.
Yeah, I'd
Oh.
rather watch the new Freaky Friday.
Freakier Friday.
Yeah, Freakier Friday.
So Einon, are you pitching a notice? Create an advantage with notice?
I mean,
I think
unless
that tracks.
yeah, unless there's something else that works better, that seems to be.
I'm sort of torn between a notice and an investigate.
Oh, sure.
I could go either way.
I think it'd be investigate because notice again is kind of more of that passive perception of like something happened. Are you going to pick up on it as opposed to like you are looking for weak spots?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's create
Sure.
an advantage with investigate.
Okay.
Again, I think trying to beat a 2.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, darn.
Nope. Don't do it.
What'd you get?
-1, and I have nothing left to spend.
Oh, wow. That's great. It's so freeing. Okay. Well, the options are nope, or you get it, but the enemy gets a free invoke. But I don't feel like the enemy getting a free invoke on whatever this is would make a lot of sense.
Sure.
So I think we're just going to go with no. No advantage, sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It's like, yeah, you make it, and it's know the locks really well. And the enemy gets a free invoke on that.
Because they're just listening as you break this down for your squad. Just got like a cup to the door, listening, all three of them. All right, so while Kade and Einon are tied up in their lengthy projects, Maxine, is there anything else you are doing with your time?
Yes, I think we see Maxine in her room, and one of the books that she took from the little like library at Fort Utrecht is heavily damaged and is sitting on her bed, and she's just pacing back and forth. Okay, on the pro side, I could restore knowledge that's been lost for many years. On the con side, it's very dangerous, and I know that it's dangerous, and it's been proven that it's dangerous. On the pro side, there could be information that could help us going forward and help us with our tasks and completing the work that we're supposed to do as clockwinders. And as clockwinders, is it not our responsibility to do everything within our power to restore the movement cores and keep people safe? On the con side of it, I'm sure every Aether user that has ever delved into actually using Aether for their own uses thought that they would be fine and wouldn't be corrupted. But on the pro side, maybe being aware of that will help me stay from being corrupted. On the con side, is that just me trying to justify it? And as she's like walking back and forth, like saying these to herself, she's just kind of like playing with her necklace in her hand, her topaz amulet that she got from her grandmother. And I think she just like stops pacing and looks at the book and then takes the necklace off and like hides it in a drawer. I'm sorry, Grandma. I know this is not what you wanted from me, but I promise I'll be careful. And I go over to the book and pick it up, and I want to try to use my new stunt.
Okay, remind me what that is.
Restoration Specialist. Use lore to repair damaged items, even if their condition is otherwise irreparable. I'm going to intentionally try to use Aether to fix this book.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let me ask you a question. As a player, not as the character, do you want this to just be like a sort of a proof of concept? Like, can you make this happen or can you not? Or do you want this book to actually be something that is useful and valuable to you moving forward? Because I feel like I'm cool with either, but I think there would be different difficulties.
Yeah, I have been thinking about this as well. I think it's more of a proof of concept.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a difficulty. I'm trying to think of a target number for this.
Can I pitch you something?
Always.
So I think that there are either like one of two scales you can use or some combination of them. But what if the difficulty scale was based off of either the size of the item or like the degradation of the item?
Yeah, I feel like the degradation of the item is generally where I was headed, but I feel like both of those could be true.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like a meet in the middle.
Yeah, like a small, completely burnt notebook is the same difficulty as a train car that is lightly rusted or
Yeah.
something. Like, just how big is it and how badly damaged is it? Some of those things could sort of equal out.
It almost feels like we've never taken the time to do something this to do this specific, but like making a scale, like
Don't
this
come
size,
on.
that size, that size, that size.
That's what we had to do in Cowboy World when it was what size is this thing for the difficulty of like using psychic powers on it
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
But we also don't have to do
I'd love not to.
that.
I'd love.
I think we should that way, but we just need to actually write it down so that we have something to compare it to
In the
anytime
future when
something
you-
that
yeah.
comes up.
God, don't you guys want the freedom to do anything in the future? Like,
I say we don't do it. So we're tied.
So we just
wasn't
stay
even-
here.
I don't feel like my vote counts. Yeah, we took some time off mic. We've come up with this scale. So, who wants to break it down?
I can.
'Kay.
So basically, there's 2 tables. We'll determine what size it is and then what is the level of damage. So we've got small, medium, large, and gigantic. So small would be something handheld like a book or a watch. Medium is person-ish sized, maybe like a table or a chair. Large would be something big like a vehicle like a train car. And gigantic would be something like a building. And then we'll have 4 options for the amount of damage: light, moderate, heavy, and destroyed. And so again, those are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so each of those are worth that many points. And so add them together and that'll determine the difficulty.
Yeah, so it will never be easier than a 2 to do this, and it should never be harder than an 8 to do this. So, size-wise, this book is a 1. Damage-wise, I think this is heavily damaged, so that would be a 3. So all told, you're trying to overcome with lore and beat a 4.
6.
Okay. You see this book like travel backwards through time almost. You watch the green ether dance off of your fingertips and envelop it, and it is just like it rewinds. Its condition improves bit by bit. The leather of the cover becomes undamaged. Pages that were missing seem to almost regrow. And how long do you think this takes? How quick of an effect is it? Let's say specifically for this book right now. Like,
I think it takes a little bit to get started, but I think once she kind of like taps into it, it goes a lot quicker.
like a minute, a few seconds, several minutes.
Yeah, I'd say like maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. So over the course of these minutes, you watch this thing restored back to perfect health. And when it's done, you see that there's nothing extraordinary about the book itself. It is...
How dare you? Yeah, every book is extraordinary.
Every book is an adventure. It's good to learn because knowledge is power.
As we've discovered in this game, power is also power.
But yeah, I mean, I think it is just, it was in a fort. I think it is just like a tactics guide, something that probably you've seen elsewhere. You've seen in other libraries. It is not a unique tome, but you were able to completely restore it.
As soon as it's fixed and I kind of stop this process, I like tear off my gloves and like look at my hands for those like lightning marks.
I think it is nigh imperceptible, but knowing exactly what you're looking for, you spot just like, it's more like freckles right now, like just speckles of those markings on your hands.
Whew. Okay, I'll put the gloves back on and go over and grab the book and flip through it. Ha! It worked! It worked! It's fixed! And I like open it up and kind of shake it around a little bit, just make sure like this is sturdy. I did it! Oh, this opens up so many options.
I'll be a living god.
If her draw to power was just instantaneous,
I can fix the world.
I could do anything.
I could own the world.
Kade walks in. Hey, Maxine, what are you doing?
Lightning bolt!
Heel turn.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah, I think I sit with this for a while, and I pull out my my new journal, and I open up to a new page, and I start laying out some grids for a new entry in my bullet journal.
So the remainder of this week passes fairly predictably. Kade buckles down and builds this additional train car with all of the desired functionality. Einon wrangles his crew of workmen, and they get these cells retrofitted, not precisely to spec, but pretty good. And I think where we find you all is actually like you guys and Hector and your wardens and like some extra greenhorn people like getting this train car down onto the rails.
Yeah.
Like just we rejoin you all as it just kind of clunk thunks into place on the rails where it belongs, and everybody's stepping back and kind of clapping the dust off their hands, and we're just going to leave it to the imagination how that happened. But yeah, getting it attached to the other car. Hector steps back and gives sort of a nod of self-approval. He's like, all right, well done.
Thanks.
I was talking to myself.
Yeah, go me.
Carrying that whole thing by myself off screen.
I don't know what the rest of you were fucking doing, just watching me. He was doing the work of like 3 people, though. He is a brick shit house.
Sure.
It's like, all right, let's get 4 people on that side, 4 people on that side, 3 people on the back, and then I've got the front.
Yeah. I imagine Smee was just underneath it, like as support.
Yeah, so Hector, he steps back. The rest of the group starts to sort of disperse back to their posts now that they're done helping you with your task. But he hangs back. Well, it seems like everything here is in order. What's next? You all heading out for the freehold?
Yes, it would seem that way. I had some thoughts on something else that you all could be doing in the meantime, at least as far as our newer recruits and just any of the other pockets of clockwinders that have little to do at the moment.
Hit me.
Well, it occurs to us that now that it would seem that the rails are more or less powered, there are a few spots that are a bit clogged up. Might be an interesting project for some of the younger folk to venture out along the tracks, find the old cars that have broken down, see if they can fix them up a bit, see if they only went offline because the tracks had been at that time, functionally move the things off of the tracks or bring the ones that still work back home.
Yeah, and along that lines, if there's anybody here who you think's taken a real shine to the kind of work we're doing, specifically like the building of pieces and the repairing of machinery, when we freed the Hologi forges, the denizens there said that they would be happy to take in like our most skilled or our most eager to learn so they could use the facility and kind of train under the denizens there.
The denizens there being the fire lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do have a language.
Salamanders.
Yeah.
Right. Was that genuinely the language?
Yeah.
Just like sort of a... Oh, okay.
What did you say?
I said if you send them there, they'll learn great construction abilities.
Will you teach me some curse words?
Oh, sure.
Marvelous.
You picked up curse words because like every room you guys went in, your guy was just like, fucking idiots. Yeah, Hector's is kind of nodding along. Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of people already out in the field again, manning the core at the swamp and whatnot, but that would be a good intro lesson for some of the greener recruits to get them used to field work without the stakes being too awfully high.
I thought as much myself, and hopefully we'll see another influx. We've made a bit of an impression at a few of the smaller towns along the way.
Oh, and if you send anybody to the forges, don't send them without a badge.
Oh,
they,
yes.
they recognize the badge.
He kind of smirks. Boy, it's interesting, the idea that going out in the world as a clockwinder might be a boon again instead of a hindrance.
Right?
Yeah, so far, all we've received is just well wishes and welcome. I can't imagine that will change at all.
Well, and a couple people who trying to kill us.
Yes.
But the ratio's been very much in our favor.
Yeah, like surprisingly so.
He kind of shakes his head in disbelief. That is surprising. Maybe, the areas near the cores are the areas that were most familiar with us back in the day, and they look back on it fondly. I don't know. But yeah, while we're getting some of these folks out and traveling, we can have them spreading the word for artisans and mechanics. What exactly? Just anybody who uses a forge?
Anybody who, like, they are specifically interested in people who you would consider artisans, like, who can make beautiful things or repair beautiful things, like just the crafting of mundane stuff they didn't seem to be as interested in right now. It seems like they're amenable to that later, but first they want to meet like the best of our best.
We gotta rebuild that bond.
Yeah.
He pulls out a little notebook and flips it and starts taking notes on what you're saying.
People who prioritize craftsmanship for craftsmanship's sake and not purely for profit.
I look around, Maxine, knowing that she has her sort of journal she's keeping up. I'm seeing Hector scribble this all down. I have my own notebook, my journal that I've been keeping, and I just sigh happily at this whole situation. Look at us, clockwinders, writing things down. We truly have a bright future ahead of us.
This is truly the dawn of a new era.
I think that is where we will leave it off this time around on such a positive note. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of The Crit Show. If you're interested in more information about the Clockwinders or Fate, you can check out the show notes for those details. You should also visit our Patreon, patreon.com/The Crit Show. $1 gets you access to the most aggressively welcoming Discord on the internet. $5 gets you access to additional shows and content, and on, just worlds of great stuff.
Yeah, we've been putting out the 3rd season of Tales from the Omniverse, and those are some wild stories.
Yeah.
Both chaotic and just a lot of fun.
And you can get your name read at the end of an episode, like Adrian Butler. Thank you, Adrian. And thanks to all of you once again. Tune in next time for, I'm trying to think of a different word. I keep using like adventures and shenanigans, and what's another way to describe this? What are they going to experience in the next episode?
Plot!
Infrastructure planning.
Murder.
All this and more. Everybody say bye.
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 The Crit Show is a Crit Show Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.